So what are we going to do today? It's very hot. Let's take a break. See, as soon as I said let's take a break, I have dropped off. There is no break today, okay? I was just trying to make you guys feel a little happy, okay? That's it. Alright. So we are going to deal with system of equations, or we will talk about how do we solve couple of linear equations to find out the solution, or solve the couple of equations. Let me make the right sentence here. So how do we solve linear equations for the variables x and y? That's what we are trying to do. So in the previous class we talked about what do we mean by a linear equation with, or equation with one variable. How do we solve for it? We talked about how do we isolate the variable on one side of equal to sign to be able to solve for the value of x. Then we also talked about the fact that when you have an equation with two variables, it doesn't give us one solution, it gives a lot of solutions. And that is where I was kind of troubling you guys by saying, okay, can you guys count the number of points you have on a line? Meaning, let's say if I have a linear equation, and let's say the equation is x plus 2y equal to 5. If you try plotting that on a coordinate plane, let's say draw a line like this. Can you count how many points we have on this line? I don't think I am intelligent enough to count the number of points on any line segment, and I don't want any of you to be that intelligent either, because essentially you cannot count the number of points you have on a line segment, no matter how big or small it is. Even if somebody says, okay, I can count how many points it has. No, you cannot count. Don't dare to count. That is not the right thing. Okay? So, what I was trying to say was that if you are talking about a linear equation, that doesn't give you a perfect solution. It gives you a combination or number of options when it comes to a solution. It doesn't give you a perfect solution. It says, okay, it could be x equal to 1, y equal to 5, it could be x equal to 2, y equal to 3. I'm just making it up. It gives you n number of solutions that you can imagine. But it doesn't give you one solution. Say, okay, you know what? When you solve this equation, x equal to 3.2 and y equal to 1.9. It doesn't tell you like that. Okay? Is that okay so far? Okay. Everybody okay? Sandin, Celine, what is your reaction to this, whatever my question was? Okay like this or okay like this? Now how will you answer without turning on your video? Okay, alright. Advik, Arab, so far okay? Yeah, Advik. No, I was asking, are you okay like this or okay like this?
The first one.
First one, okay like this? Okay. So, anyways, let's go back to a more serious discussion. So, one takeaway for us is, if I have one equation with one variable, very easy, no problem. We can always solve it. Meaning, if I have equation like x plus 9 equal to 15, I can find out the value of x. And that be a point blank answer, no confusion, no doubt, no multiple choice answers. But if I have x plus 3y equal to 17, I will not get a perfect answer for x or perfect answer for y. What I need is, I need one more equation. One more equation with the two variables or one variable, whatever it be. If I get x minus y equal to 2, anything, then I will be able to solve. Summary is, if I have two equations with two variables, then I will be able to get the perfect answer by solving them. Yeah? And that is where there are two methods. One is called method of substitution and second one is called method of elimination, which we will talk about. Is that okay? Starting point? Yeah? Hello, Vita, come on in. So, guys, give me 30 seconds. Yes, ma'am. So, I will let them continue the class. I will close the door if you don't mind. My battery is also here. Don't worry. After 1 hour, okay? So have a seat. And you can say hello to your friends. You have 2 friends here. And what's your name, Vikram? Arvi? Okay. So, yeah. And you are in? You are going to 8th grade. They are 1 grade behind you. They are in 7th grade. And this class is for all the kids from 6th to 8th grade. Because all the concepts that we learn are relatable. Okay? Alright, so we are talking about system of linear equations. Meaning, when I have 2 linear equations, equation like this and equation like this, and I am trying to solve for x and y. And there are 2 methods. One is called method of substitution and one is called method of elimination. That's what somebody taught me yesterday. Who was it? Yep. Yadvik.
It was me.
You? Okay. $1 million Padri can out of both. Once I have it. That's a disclaimer. Anyways, coming back to a serious discussion. Once I have it, I don't have it. Maybe 20 years from now, we'll see. Okay, so question to Andy. So do you know better how to solve this? I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. This is a class meant for making mistakes. More the mistakes you make, happier you make me. Okay? So don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's the message to you all. Why I'm saying so? Because whatever you know, whatever you are aware of, you should be very transparently sharing that with me, so that gives me enough clue to tailor my teaching for you guys to make it effective. Okay? Now, some of you already know that okay, there are 2 methods, method of substitution, method of elimination. But I want to take a step back and make sure that I start from the basics. Okay? Arya, I am saying this is a linear equation, this is a linear equation. Do you know why better? Any thoughts? No? Do you know why I would call them a linear equation? Any thoughts? Any weird thought? No? Okay. Advik, you would know, but yeah, go ahead.
Because you can draw a straight line on a graph. That's why they're called linear equations.
Yep. Arab, your same answer is same. Your answer got stolen.
Like that, but also because they can put out the table and graph it up.
No, don't assume that I'm super intelligent. I'm not. I said my simple question to you guys was that why do we call this a linear equation? The minimum or the maximum answer I'm expecting is because these equations plot a straight line when we try drawing it in a coordinate plane. Okay? Now I will show you guys. Let's look at this. First, let's decode the things one by one. Sand and insulin, is that your understanding also better?
Yes.
Okay. So, Sadvik. So, what we are saying is, let's start with English. This is not an English class, but still we will use English as a base. When we say linear equation, it has a line in it. Okay? Any equation, if we ever claim to be a linear equation, it has some relationship with a line. And don't be busy taking notes because this is recording me and the board. So this will always be there for you guys. Okay? So I'm just trying to save some time for you so that you guys can focus on understanding or following the concept than spending your energy for taking notes. Because this video is for you guys only, and I upload the video of the class after the class so that you can always watch it on YouTube to revise it, to see what we learned. Okay? Alright? Okay. So a linear equation, when we talk about, it has a line in it. Okay? So Ina, okay beta? Satvik, okay? Just look at the English part of it. Linear equation has a line in it. Now, I am saying that any equation like is a linear equation, or an equation like x minus 2y equal to 17 is a linear equation, or 4x plus 3y equal to 15 another linear equation, or x minus y equal to 2 is a linear equation. These are all linear equations. Why? Because they all have one thing in common. If you look at the equation, this equation has two variables, x and y. This also has two variables, x and y. This also has two variables, x and y. Yeah, x and y. And if you look at it carefully, the maximum power to the variable is what? 1. Maximum power to the variable is 1. So every equation where the maximum power to the variable is 1 is called a linear equation. Any doubt? Or what is funny about the statement? Okay. So don't keep on exploring multiple emoji options. Alright. So I am saying that every equation where the maximum power to the variable is 1 is a linear equation. And I have not convinced you guys why it is a linear equation, where it is forming a line. We'll come to that. But from interpretation point of view, if I say x square plus 4x minus 2 equal to y, this I will not call a linear equation. Why? Because see the maximum power to the variable. This is 2, here 1. So if I have to count the maximum power on the variable, I will count this as the maximum power, right? This is the maximum power to the variable 2. So any equation where the maximum power to the variable is 2, that is not a linear equation. The only equation that will be called a linear equation where the maximum power to the variable is 1. So all these are qualified to be called a linear equation. Take conceptually. Yeah? Yadvik. Only ask valid questions.
It's not a question. The squared one is a formula.
Let's not even go there. We'll come to that. When it's time, when you guys have some grey hairs like me, we'll talk about it. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Let's come back. So now at least conceptually we know which one we will call a linear equation, which one we will not. That part is clear. Now I am decoding it further for you guys. So you know okay beta so far? Sandrine, Surin, no question? Okay. Now I am going to the next level. Where I am saying, okay fine. Somebody said linear equation has a line. Okay. But where is the line? Where do I see the line? Now I will show you guys a line. Let's say x plus 2y equal to 7. Let's say 8 or 5. I am claiming that this is a linear equation. Yeah? And you guys are still not convinced. And you have all the reasons for not being convinced. Because I have not proved that yet. Okay? So what will I do? Okay, let's form a table. That's what Arav and Adit were alluding to. When I have an equation, okay, when I have an equation, this is like an agreement, like I said in the previous class. This is an agreement between x and y. Let's say Aryahi is x and Arvi is y. Okay? They have struck a deal saying that Aryahi says that see, my value plus 2 times your value will be equal to 5. That's a deal between Aryahi and Arvi. What it means is, if Aryahi increases her value, this value, Arvi's value will decrease because total has to add up to 5. So any equation that you see in life is nothing but a contract between the variables, the agreement between the variables. Okay? X and Y I chose Aryahi and Arvi because these are variables. I can change my mind and say, okay, X is me and Y is Arya. Variable can change. Yeah? So an equation is a contract, is a deal. Okay? Now let's look at the deal. Now we are playing with that, based on the deal that we have here. If x is 0, what happens to the value of y? 2 or 5 by 2? This became 0. So this is 5, butterfly method by 5 by 2. Right? So see here, when x is 0, 0 plus 2y equal to 5, that means 2y equal to 5, so y is 5 by 2. Yep. Are you guys able to follow me so far? See, the good thing here is, as I always say, I am not intelligent. So that way I will not assume anybody to be intelligent either. I will do it step by step. So that is how it makes it very clear to us. You will see a story in the problem that I solve. Okay? You should be able to write a story out of it. Now, when x is 0, y is 5 by 2. What will be the value of y when x is 1? When x is 1, meaning 1 plus 2y equal to 5. That means 2y equal to 5 minus 1. Or 2y equal to 5 minus 1 is 4. Or y equal to 4 by 2. That is 2. Is this story looking okay? Arya with you, okay, brother? Shaurya, okay? Yeah. So again, I will go as simple as possible because I'm trying to make sure that this flows down well for you all. Okay? So here, when x is 1, we got the value of y is 2. Okay. Now, how about this? What happens when y is 0? It's a deal, right? One can change, other one will change. When one changes, other one also changes. What happens when y is 0? Okay, when y is 0 meaning x plus 2 into 0 equal to 5. Oh, this is 0. 2 into 0 is 0. So x equals 5. So far this table looks haunted or not haunted? Is this table looking haunted to anybody? No? Not. Alright. So, Arvi, you are okay with that? You have no problem with my dad jokes, right? No. Okay, alright. So, we got some values, okay? I mean, I could have wasted more time explaining this, but I am not doing that on purpose. So, we took 3 values. So, when x is 0, y is 5 by 2. When x is 1, y is 2. When y is 0, x is 5. So, we got 3 combinations of x and y values. Okay? Now, what we will do is everybody aware of the coordinate planes? Comfortable with the coordinate planes? It is nothing but 2 number lines perpendicular to each other. Yeah? So this one I will call it x-axis. This one I will call it y-axis. So you know, okay? Okay. So I have 2 number lines. So this is my 0. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. Minus 1, minus 2. I'll stop it. Here 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to plot these numbers on this number line. Okay? This table on the number line and see what exactly it becomes. When x is 0, y is 5 by 2. Meaning when x is 0, y is 5 by 2. This is my first point. X 0, y is 5 by 2. Okay? Now when x is 1, y is 2. So when x is 1, y is 2. Second point. When x is 5, y is 0. Meaning when x is 5, y is 0. Now you guys don't have a choice of not agreeing to what I was saying. I was saying this is a linear equation that will draw a line for us. See? Yeah. I mean, I went the extra mile by putting 3 points. Then you have to draw a line. What you need is just 2 points. I thought, okay, fine. Let me not confuse you guys. Because any 2 points, if I try joining, that will be a straight line only. That's why I took 3 points. Still, if I am joining all the 3 points, I am seeing that forming a line. So, any linear equation, any equation with maximum power to the variable as 1 draws a straight line always, at least till my retirement. Yep. After my retirement, it might change. Let's see. Yeah. So my retirement is linked with you guys going to college, right? So till you go to college, this will not change. So don't worry about it. All right. Are you clear? Sandins Lean clear about my retirement plan? Okay. All right. So this is the basic concept of linear equation. We saw that if I have a linear equation, that always draws a straight line. Any linear equation, meaning any equation where the maximum power to the variable is 1, that will draw a straight line only. I would want you guys to get your hands dirty, pick up any equation, form, frame, make up any equation with maximum power to the variable as 1, an equation with 2 variables, and try to see if you are able to ever draw something other than a straight line. The day you encounter that situation where you are drawing on a legitimate, graph paper, and it doesn't draw a straight line for you, come back charging me saying, sir, you taught us something wrong, that needs to be fixed. Yep. And I'll apologize to you guys and then fix that problem. Okay? But I don't think I have to, because this will never do it. Okay? Alright. So this is on the linear equation, but we were not wanting to only solve this one. We started with the fact that if we have to solve for 2 variables, we need 2 equations. That was our first point. And we came back to the point, okay, this is a linear equation, so this is what it takes. Now we are going back to the main idea of solving. If I ask you to solve for x and y, you will say, no sir, this will draw a straight line and every point on this line agrees to this term and condition. So there are multiple, so many values of x and y combination, but there is no perfect answer. Yep. So that is why you need another equation, maybe x plus 2y equal to 50. And that will draw another line. When that draws a line, wherever these 2 lines meet, that point also has x and y coordinate value. That will be our solution from this equation. Okay? So there are 2 ways of solving any linear pair of linear equation. One is using the graph, the coordinate plane. You plot both the lines on the coordinate plane and then see where they intersect, or you can solve it algebraically. So today our focus will be on solving linear equation algebraically, okay, using algebra. Yeah. Okay, this one okay or this one okay? This one okay? All right. Early, you look little worried with my jokes. No? So see, the thing is, when it comes to math, I actually enjoy math. That's why you will see happiness on my face. This is my 3rd hour standing teaching you guys with this hot weather, with so much of sweat. But then I keep that aside because math is more enjoyable than the hot weather. Okay? Even if it starts snowing, I'm not going to stop. So that's why. So what I'm trying to convey here is, when you get involved in math, you will find that it is very interesting subject. I'm enjoying it. I'm wanting you all to enjoy it as a fun subject. So excuse me for all the dad jokes, bad jokes, distractions, but focus on the fun part of it. Okay? Yeah. So now we have these 2 equations and we are trying to solve it for x and y. There are 2 methods. One is called method of substitution, one is called method of elimination. Now the story begins. Except Arab and Advik, who can tell me what is method of substitution? What is You guys are behaving like babies. Okay, tell me who's going to explain me what is method of substitution? Okay, yes, Sanvita, tell me better.
So you would solve one equation for one of the variables, and then you would substitute that expression that you get as a result into the other equation, and then solve that. And then you would put it back into the original equation, like you would put your final value back, and then you would find the other variable the same way.
Right. So here, let me give you guys another lame story here. If I don't know if I asked this question yesterday or not. Who is math's mother? English. Math's mother is English. Meaning, I'm saying that if you're talking about math, the message comes from, I said method of substitution. What does substitution mean? When you replace something somewhere. Yeah? We'll come to elimination also. Let's look at substitution here. Method of substitution, simple. Now look at this. I have two equations. I have x minus 2y equal to 5, 2x plus 3y equal to 18. What I like the most is if I have an equation where I have only one variable. These two equations have problems. They have two variables each, which I don't like. So I am trying to find out ways to convert these equations into equation with one variable. And that is where substitution helps. Now if I find out the value of x here from this equation, that will be easy, right? X will be equal to 5 plus 2y. I took this equation. Yeah? So from this I can find x equal to 5 plus 2y. Everybody agrees, right? Now if I take this value of x and substitute, that's what Sanvita was alluding to. Right? Substitution, method of substitution, meaning imagine this equation now. I have 2x plus 3y. I'm saying I'm not going to use x. I will use this value from this equation. 5 plus 2y. This is what my 2x became. And then I have a 3y equal to 18. See? Now I have an equation where I have only one variable, y and y. Yeah? This was our desired state. Correct? Tansi, Suhina, Arya, everybody? 5 plus 2y. Yeah, Vic?
Now you said this might be algebra way.
This is algebra way.
It's really not algebra.
Forget about algebra for now. If it is not algebra way, forget about it. Yep. I will reserve the time for that argument or debate later on. Right now we have two equations, I am trying to solve it. Yep. You call it algebra, you call it zebra, you call it giraffe, I'll leave it to you. Yep. Alright, coming back to this one. So we had two equations. We found that this equation is much more easier to deal with. It gives me the value of x very quickly. So I use this value of x and substituted in the second equation. I took this equation to start with, found the value of x and substituted that in this equation. So what happened was, my first equation became an equation with only one variable. See, from this you can find out the value of y. 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 2y is 4y, plus 3y equal to 18, or this 10 goes here, this is 4y plus 3y, 7y equals 18 minus 10. So 7y equals 8, y equals 8 by 7. So what this method did for us was took the value of one variable in the form of the other variable and substituted in the first equation, so that this equation became an equation with one variable, so that you can find out the value of one of the variable. Yeah? Is everybody able to follow what I'm saying? Okay. So now you got the value of y, absolute value, constant value. You can put it here or you can put it here, anywhere that you are comfortable with, and then you can use that information for finding the value of x also. Yep. Clear? I want you all to break your head with my next set of problem, okay? Because if I keep on talking about it, it will give me a feeling that everybody understood, but I want you guys to try. I want you guys to solve it for x and y. Some of you would have understood the whole problem completely or the approach, some of you might not have. This is the time to check how comfortable, quick, accurate we are with solving this kind of problem. Is everybody feeling okay with the temperature? Yeah? I mean, I'm not, but I will borrow some cold air while we are trying to solve it. Can I assume that everybody is giving it a try? Sandrine, Celine, Sanvita, Arav. Okay, Arav, you solved?
I had a question.
Okay.
Equation again.
What is that?
Could you please read the second equation, please?
Okay, I am reading both the equation for you guys one more time. X plus 2y equal to 15. 7x plus 4y equal to 35. You heard it, Arav?
Yeah.
Okay. Sandrine, Celine, tell me better.
I think x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 7.
Little louder.
I think x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 7.
Okay. And when you're saying you think, is it after solving it or you did some mind math to derive it?
I'm not sure.
So what I will say is, while everybody else is trying, give it a shot. Try solving it. I'm anyways going to solve it towards the end, but I want you guys to try it, and then when I'm solving it, you guys can compare or review your solution with mine. Okay, yes.
I got the same answer in x equals 7.
Okay. And I'm assuming that everybody has solved it by doing it step by step, okay? There is no place for I think, because that will be my expectation of everybody, okay? If you have not done it while everybody else is doing it, please finish it. Yes, Arya, you were saying something.
I did the first one and I got y equals 4 and x.
Y equal to 4, x equals 7, y equals 4. When you say I did the first one, what does it mean? I'm saying you have both the equations which you will use for finding the value of x and y. So you will not, there is no first one, second one. There will be only one answer. Yeah? Yaad it.
I propose the first one is x equals 1 and y equals 7.
You propose or you solve?
I solved and proposed and I proved.
Okay. Nobody has to propose any answer to me. You have to just solve and give me the answer. Okay.
Yeah, I got x equals 1 and y equals 7.
Okay. And did you do it step by step? Because I would want to see that. Yeah.
I changed my answer.
Yeah. What is that?
Y equals 7 and x equals 1.
Okay. Let's see what everybody else says. Yes, Anvita.
I got x equals 1 and y equals 7.
Okay, Vasundhara.
I got x equals 1 and y equals 7.
Okay. How about you, Shaurya? You are very quiet today. What is your answer, beta?
I also got x equals 1 and y equals 7.
Okay. Satvik.
I got x equals 1 and y equals 7.
And you solved it while you were in the car. That's impressive. Okay. That's impressive. Let's see what Tansi got.
I got X equals 1, Y equals 2.
Okay, cool. Anybody who is still working on it? Suhina, I have not heard your answer, beta. Are you still working on it? Okay. Ranvi, how about you, beta? Still working on it? I'm sorry? Working on it. Okay. All right. Now, okay, a very honest answer I'm expecting from you guys. Tell me who all did that problem, solving it step by step, versus some of you who use some mind math approach. Step by step, step by step. What is the answer? I don't want emojis. Tell me the answer.
Step by step.
Step by step. Okay.
Just in.
Okay. No mind math. Sanrita, was it step by step for you as well?
Yeah.
So, my humble request to each one of you is, when you are solving math, I know we all get tempted to solve it by jumping to these steps because that helps us save time. But I would say, you guys are way too young for jumping steps. Don't do that right now. Once you guys are about to finish your high school, when you are done with your SAT exam, or you are about to go for SAT exam, where you are overconfident now, then you can probably skip the steps. But for now, make sure that whenever you are solving a problem, whenever you are doing assignment, do it step by step. Okay? When you see me solve a problem, right? Do you ever see me jumping 2 steps? No, I don't. Because that way it gives me the ability to review what I have done. And if I go wrong anywhere, I can go back to that step and figure out where I went wrong. Okay? So, okay, now let me, for everybody, you guys can all stop. Now let's look at the magic that I'm going to do on the board. Did I ever claim that I'm a magician? No, right? Why will I do magic then? Okay, so these were the two equations we had. And right now we are going to use the method of substitution, because we clearly see from this equation we can find out the value of x very quickly. This is called the method of isolation. Method of isolating quantities. We can isolate x on one side of equal to and say, oh, x equals 15, and this goes this side, this becomes minus 2y. So we isolated x, right? All of you who heard, who saw, who experienced about Corona, right? COVID days, what were we doing? We were isolating ourselves. That is what exactly we are doing here. We are isolating x. We are not giving COVID vaccine to x. We are just isolating x, okay? Right? There is no point giving COVID vaccine to x and y. We don't know who is x. Alright, so we just isolate. So we got value of x from here. Now we will use the method of substitution, meaning put this value in the second equation. So 7x is this plus 4y equal to 35. Basically I am dealing with the second equation wherein the value of x I have borrowed from this guy. Okay? I put it here. So 7x, x got replaced with this value and this. Now I am breaking this bracket open. So this becomes 7 times 15, 15 7 is 105. 7 into 2y, 7 into 2 minus 14, 7 to is 14 and this is minus 14y plus 4y equal to 35. So many y's. So here we have 105 minus 14y plus 4y, so that becomes 10y, minus 10y equal to 35. Now this guy comes from here to here, so 105 minus 35, and this guy goes to the other side. Again, same isolation technique. We are putting numbers on one side and the y on the other side. So I have, let me do step by step. Okay, I jump one step here. So here I will say 105 equals 35 plus 10y. Now I want to move this number also to this side. So 105 minus 35 equal to 10y. Or 105 minus 35 is 70. 70 equal to 10y. Or 10y equal to 70. Or y equal to 70 by 10. This multiplication becomes division here. See here, I have a 0 than here, a 0 than here. Knock it off. It becomes 7 by 1. Y equal to 7. Everybody got the right value of y, 7. Now I got the value of y as 7. I can put it anywhere and find out the value of x. Okay? So I got the value of y as 7. I put it here. This looks like easy equation, right? I love this equation. X plus 2y. 2 into y. Y is 7. Equal to 15. That means x plus 2 into 7 is 14. Equal to 15. Or x equals 15 minus 14. Is equal to 1. So, based on whatever you guys told me, that seems to be the correct answer. And I also got the same answer. So, you guys were right. I also eventually got right. But what is the takeaway here? This is the method of substitution. And you can use the method of substitution in a situation where it's easy for you to find out the value of x and y from one of the equations. Where you can isolate it very easily. Okay? Sentence Lynn, okay beta? Suhina, go ahead beta.
Sir, I need to leave now.
Okay, then you have extra responsibility of watching the video of the remaining class to catch up whatever we covered in the next 15 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sir, bye.
Alright. So, the takeaway is when you have pair of equations to solve, pair of linear equations to solve, you always find out ways to isolate one of the variables. If you can do that. I would not try to find out the value of x from this equation. That will be complicated, right? If you look at this, if I try to take this one, 7x plus 4y equal to 35. So if I have to find out the value of x here, 7x will be equal to 35 minus 4y. X will be equal to 35 minus 4y by 7. Problematic. Yeah? Doesn't look cute anymore. Look at this guy. X was very simple. No fractions, no decimals, no power. Here you have 35 by 7 gives you 5. 4 by 7 becomes a fraction here. 4 by 7y. Then you have rational number here. Then you 4 by 7y, then you have 4y here. It becomes more complicated. Right? So that's why you would always pick the equation where x and y relationship is looking much more simpler and easier, so that you get easy value and then you can substitute with them. That's more of an optics thing, okay? I mean, when you look at the equation, you'll figure out. You'll be able to figure out that, okay, I would not choose this one. This looks really complicated. Maybe this is simple. X I can get straight away, without any fraction, without any mathematical jargon, right? So, from this, you pick the value, substitute it in the other one, and then you solve it. That is called method of substitution. Only thing to be careful about is steps. Look at the steps. Did I assume anything? No. I said I am picking this equation, got the value of x. Then I said I am picking this equation, substituting the value of x. Then I continued with my baby steps one by one. These are baby steps. At no step in this whole calculation I have pretended that I am a super intelligent guy. I have not. And you don't have to. Because the time you assume that, there is a guarantee of going wrong, or the probability of going wrong increases. Yep. Shadia, Satvik, Arihan, okay? Okay. Alright. So this is method of substitution, and hereafter all the time when I give you guys assignment every week, I request you guys to solve it and do it step by step. Nobody is going to send me the answer saying, okay, question number 1 answer B, question number 3 answer D, question number 4 answer B. That doesn't give me any clue, because I would not remember what assignment I had given you guys. Unless I see the problem being solved step by step, I cannot make any head or tail out of it. Yeah? So always solve it step by step. You will see there is a merit in doing so, and you will see the advantage of that in the longer run. When you all have grey hairs. Okay, what happened? Blank? So I'm saying when you all have grey hair, that is when you'll appreciate. I know that is decades away from now. But what I'm saying is, you should do it step by step. Alright? Now we're talking about the next thing, that is called method of elimination. Method of elimination. Guys, only maths for next 10 minutes. Elimination. Again, who is the mother of math? English. Elimination method. What does English say? Elimination. Eliminate. If anybody says eliminate this teacher from your classes, what does it mean? You guys are kicking me out of the class. There will be only students. Similarly, when you say elimination, you are talking about removing something out, knocking something out. Yes, Kusundara. No worries. So, again, as the mother says, elimination, when you are talking about method of elimination, your only goal is to knock off something. And what you would want to knock off? Variables. Because imagine this. This is what you like. One equation, one variable. Easy to solve. Your life becomes more complicated when you have two variables. You don't like two variables in one equation. That is why you want to eliminate one of the variables. Let's say if this gets eliminated, life is fun. This gets eliminated, life is interesting. That's what you want. You want to eliminate, you want to find out different tricks and techniques for eliminating that. That's what we do now. Okay? But before we do that, there's something called equivalent of an equation. Do you guys know what does it mean? Equivalent of an equation. Equivalent of an equation. Who is going to explain that to me? I have x plus 3y equal to 15. How you can find out an equivalent of this equation? Yep. Probably not. What do you mean by equivalent of an equation? Yes, Arav.
Would be with the same equation, not the same.
Okay, let's see what Sanita says.
Another equation with the same answer.
Another equation that gives you the same answer. Or that gives you the same possible values of x and y. And the magical answer to that is, pick any equation, multiply with any number. These are all equivalent equations. So any equation, when you multiply each and every term of the equation by any number or divide each and every term of the equation by the same number, that is called equivalent equation. What does it mean is, if I have an equation x plus y equal to 15, I can say I don't like this equation, x looks very weak, y looks very weak, I want them to look bulkier. I will multiply whole thing by 3. I will multiply whole thing by 3 or 5. So this becomes 3x plus 3y equal to 45. This looks powerful, masculine now. This equation is the same as the previous one. As long as you are multiplying and dividing each and every term by the same number, you are not changing the property of the equation. You are not changing the behavior of the equation. You are not changing the possible answer of the variables x and y. So this is okay. This is legal to multiply or divide any equations every term by the same number. Is that okay? We are getting to the legalities of the equation right now. Yeah. So if you have any equation, if you multiply or divide each and every term of the equation by the same number, you are not hurting anybody and you are not going to be proven wrong. So keep that in mind. Whenever you want to play with it, you can multiply or divide every term with the same value, same number, and you will still be fine. You will still be within the acceptance range. And why I am telling that? Because this will be our technique for applying elimination. Okay. Now let's look at it. 2x plus y equal to 17. 4x minus y equal to 15. There are two rules that you need to remember. One is equivalent equation. Meaning when you have any equation, you multiply every term, divide every term by same number, you are fine. Second thing is, you can, if you have multiple equations, you can add or subtract them the way you want. And that is also okay. So I have two equations now. I have only one thing in my mind with a bull's eye that I want to eliminate. Eliminate a variable. Now since I know that I can add the equation or subtract the equation, I can multiply the equation, I got a fancy idea. See, what if I add these two equations? I have positive y, I have negative y. They will cancel each other. See? Now adding them. 2x plus 4x is 6x. Y, positive y plus negative y, 0y. Or 0. Leave it. Equal to 17 plus 15, 32. X equals 32 by 6. You got the answer straight away. This is called method of elimination, where you have only one intent in mind, that is knocking off the variables in a legal way. Don't remove the variables just because you don't like it. There are some method to the madness that you have to keep in mind. Yeah. So, two rules to remember when you're talking about elimination. Always be aware of the fact that you can add or subtract the equation from each other, or you can multiply or divide each and every term of the equation without hurting the overall result. So here, in this case, we had an opportunity where you could just add them and get rid of one of the variable. Yeah? Sandin, Sunil, Tansi, Sanita, everybody okay?
Yes.
Vasundhara okay beta? Advik and Arav? You are liking this killing instinct? I am killing Y here. Okay. So this is again, this was one of the way to eliminate. Now let's look at one more example. Let's say if I had 7x plus 2y equal to 15 and 4x plus y equal to 8. Now if I add them or subtract them, no straightforward solution. But we know that we can multiply an equation and that doesn't change the value. If I multiply this equation by 2, I will have 2y here. 8x is fine. And 2y here. So then if I try to subtract one equation from other after multiplying by 2, I can still get rid of 2y. So let's look at this. I took this equation and then multiplied by 2. This is my new equation. I have rewritten this equation by using the equivalent concept. So this becomes 8x plus 2y equal to 8. Now look at this is your revamped equation and your old equation. This is the previous, the other equation. Now here you have 8x, you have 7x, you have 2y, you have 2y. Now what if you subtract this equation from this equation? What will happen? Let's see. Oh, this is 2 times 8 is 16. Now if I subtract this equation from the new revamped equation, what happens? This is minus, minus, minus. 8x minus 7x gives me a x. 2y cancels out. 16 minus 15, 1. See? So you have to look at different techniques based on your understanding of equivalent equation, based on what are the legal operations, with only one plan to get rid of one of the variables. We took some examples where we were kind of talking of y. You can also look at ways to knock off x also. See, one solution here could be, you will say, okay fine, I have the option to multiply. I'll multiply this guy by 7 and multiply this guy by 4. Now you will have 28x. Here also you will have 28x. Subtract one of them. Yeah. So you can always choose how you want to play around with the equations for getting rid of the variable. Be it substitution, be it elimination. You have only one goal, that is come to a point where you have a new equation formed with only one variable. Because that is what helps you get the value of the variable very quickly. And once you have the value of the variable, one of the variable, you can put that in any other equation and get the other one. Everybody okay? Was this a simple, understandable speech? Relatable to? Okay, so now what this means is we are almost done, not almost done, we are done with the class. After this class, I'm going to send you guys, upload the video of today's class as well, like yesterday's, and send you guys some assignment by tonight or latest by tomorrow. And the assignments are always like 8-10 problems. From today onwards, what I request you all is solve those problems. This should not take more than 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That's the assignment I give. I don't give a lot of homework, okay? Because I don't want you guys to get tired of math. If I give you guys 20 problems, 30 problems, you'll get tired of math and soon you'll get tired of me also. The fun will be gone. So the assignment that I give is only with the purpose to make sure that whatever concept you are learning in the class, you are able to apply them confidently. And if we are not able to, if we are getting stuck somewhere, that means there is something that we overlooked, something that we did not understand completely. Bother the person who taught you. Or you have the video also. You can watch it and let's see, why I am missing this one. Did I kind of ignore something? Watch the video. After that also not clear, come back to me. But when you are doing the assignment, don't jump steps. Complete if I am giving 6 problems, first problem, this is the question, step by step. Solve. Second problem, step by step. And then you show it to your parents, say, okay, explain, okay, saying, this was the assignment, this is what I did. When you explain those problems to the parents, you are not trying to achieve anything. You are just trying to reconfirm that, okay, whatever you learned, you are going to explain. Your parents will get the confidence, you will be confident, and then you can catch hold of your sibling and teach by yourself when needed. Yeah? Alright, that was a long, boring speech. We are done. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Talk to you guys next Saturday.
Bye, sir.
Alright, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye.